Pumpkin filling doesn't begin in a factory. It begins in a field, under open sky, where the vines spread wide and the fruit slowly gathers sweetness day by day. Long before anyone tastes it inside a bun or pastry, a pumpkin has already made dozens of quiet decisions on its own. How much sunlight to absorb, how much water to hold, how thick to grow its skin, how deeply its color will turn. For farmers, the most important choice is timing. Harvest too early and the pumpkin is watery, pale, and bland. Harvest too late and the texture may become dry or stringy, and the fruit can be more vulnerable to damage. So they look for signs that the pumpkin is ready. A deep, even orange, a rind that feels firm and protective, and a stem that has begun to harden and dry. Those details aren't just tradition. They're indicators of what matters to a filling maker later: flavor, color, and the balance between moisture and starch. Harvest often starts in the early hours of the morning, when the air is cool and the pumpkins are less stressed by heat. Workers move down the rows, cutting the fruit from the vine with a clean blade. Leaving a short stem helps protect the pumpkin from rot and reduces moisture loss. Each pumpkin is lifted and placed carefully into bins. That careful handling matters because bruises are invisible problems at first. A bruise might not show on the outside, but it can break down the flesh inside, leading to soft spots, off flavors, and spoilage during storage. After harvest, the pumpkins are gathered at a collection point for sorting. Not every pumpkin is suitable for filling. Some are too small, too immature, cracked, or damaged. Sorting creates consistency, and consistency is the foundation of a good product. If a factory receives a mix of very watery pumpkins and very dry pumpkins, the filling will be unpredictable. If the color varies too widely, the final product won't look uniform. So the supply chain begins with selection. Only pumpkins that meet the quality target move forward. In many cases, the pumpkins go through a short curing stage before long transport or processing. Curing means holding them in warm, ventilated conditions so the skin can toughen and minor surface scratches can heal. It's a simple concept, but it reduces waste. A tougher rind can handle stacking and movement better. It also helps the pumpkins last longer before they are cooked, buying time for transport and scheduling at the factory. Then comes the trip from farm to plant. Pumpkins are loaded onto trucks, stacked to prevent crushing, and transported in conditions meant to reduce heat buildup and moisture accumulation. Even though pumpkins are hardy compared to many fruits, they're still living produce. Heat, humidity, and rough handling can shorten their usable life. A well-managed transport process protects what the farm has grown and preserves the qualities a processor needs. At the processing facility, the pumpkins enter a different world, one built around control. Each shipment is received, recorded, and traced. The origin, harvest date, and batch details may be logged so that if a quality issue appears later, the plant can identify where the pumpkins came from and what conditions they experienced. This isn't just paperwork. Traceability is a modern requirement for food safety and accountability. Quality control teams inspect the incoming pumpkins. They check for visible rot, excessive damage, and abnormal odors. Depending on the factory and product requirements, they may also measure characteristics like moisture content and sweetness. Even small differences can change how the filling behaves in a bun or pastry. A filling needs to hold its shape, stay smooth, and remain stable over storage. If the raw ingredient is unpredictable, the factory has to work harder to correct it. Once approved, the pumpkins move to the washing line. Soil, dust, and field residue must be removed before cutting begins. The pumpkins are rinsed with clean water sprays, brushed to remove debris, and often pass through a sanitizing step using food-safe methods. This step protects the equipment and the product. Any contamination on the surface can be carried inward during cutting, so cleanliness here affects everything that follows. After washing, the pumpkins are prepared. Depending on the facility, the pumpkins may be cut by skilled workers using standardized techniques or sliced by industrial machines designed for speed and uniformity. The goal is consistent pieces that cook evenly. The internal cavity seeds and fibrous strands is removed. Many processors collect the seeds separately. Some seeds become roasted snacks or oil, while other byproducts may be used for animal feed or compost. Even the parts that don't become filling can still have value, and modern production often tries to reduce waste wherever possible. Next comes peeling or skin removal. Some operations peel raw pumpkin using specialized equipment. Others cook the pumpkin first, so the skin separates more easily. The method depends on pumpkin variety, desired texture, and efficiency. What matters is the final result: clean pumpkin flesh, free from tough rind and ready for cooking. Cooking is where pumpkin begins to transform from produce into an ingredient. Large steam kettles, continuous cookers, or roasting systems heat the pumpkin until it softens. This step is about more than tenderness. Cooking develops aroma, deepens color, and brings out natural sweetness. If the pumpkin is undercooked, it won't blend smoothly, and the filling can feel grainy. If overcooked, it can lose freshness and develop dull flavors. As the pumpkin softens, it becomes a thick mash. Then it moves into blending. Industrial blenders or grinders turn the mash into puree. In many facilities, the puree is refined through screens or sieves to remove fibrous bits, creating a smoother texture. Texture is a big part of how people experience filling. A good pumpkin filling should feel creamy, cohesive, and consistent from the first bite to the last. Refining helps deliver that. Now the process shifts from turning pumpkin into puree to turning puree into filling. This is where recipe and purpose matter. A filling made for buns needs to be thick enough to stay in place during shaping and baking. It should not leak water into the dough. It should remain smooth even when reheated. A filling made for retail use at home might need a slightly different balance, so it spreads easily and still tastes rich. In the mixing kettle, pumpkin puree is combined with other ingredients according to the target profile. Sweeteners are commonly used to balance the natural earthiness of pumpkin and highlight its flavor. A small amount of fat or oil may be added to improve mouthfeel, helping the filling feel rounder and smoother on the tongue. Salt can be used in tiny amounts to sharpen flavor and prevent the sweetness from feeling flat. Some recipes include spices such as cinnamon, vanilla, or nutmeg for a warm bakery style, while others keep the taste clean and pumpkin forward. The choice depends on culture, brand, and product type. One of the biggest technical challenges at this stage is moisture control. Pumpkin naturally contains water, and water affects everything: shelf life, stability, and how the filling behaves in dough. If the filling is too wet, it can seep during storage, encourage microbial growth, and make baked goods soggy. If it is too dry, it can feel heavy and pasty, and it may not pipe smoothly in production lines. So the mixture is cooked again while being stirred, often for an extended period, to concentrate the filling to the right thickness. Some facilities use vacuum kettles for this concentration step. Under vacuum, water can evaporate at lower temperatures. That helps preserve color and fresh aroma while still thickening the product. Other plants rely on carefully controlled heating and scraping systems that prevent scorching at the bottom of the kettle. Scorching can add bitter notes and dark specks, so avoiding it is essential for a clean, premium filling. Throughout formulation and concentration, quality checks happen repeatedly. Technicians may measure viscosity, monitor color, and sample taste. They look for a texture that is smooth and stable, not separated or lumpy. They look for a consistent golden orange hue that matches the brand's standard. They confirm the filling behaves the way it should: spoonable, pipeable, and able to hold shape. Food safety remains a constant focus. Depending on whether the final product is refrigerated, frozen, or shelf-stable, the process includes validated steps to manage risk. Many fillings are packed hot, which reduces contamination risk as the product enters the package. Some fillings are pasteurized after filling to extend shelf life. Hygienic design and equipment, sanitation schedules, and strict handling rules help keep the product safe from start to finish. Then comes packaging, the step that seals all that work into a form that can travel. Packaging format depends on who will use the filling. Large bags or tubs may be shipped to bakeries and food manufacturers. Smaller pouches or containers may be sold in supermarkets for home cooking. The package must protect the filling from oxygen, moisture loss, and contamination. It also has to survive transportation without bursting or leaking. Labels include production codes and dates, so the product can be traced and rotated properly. After packaging, the filling is stored under controlled conditions. Refrigerated filling goes into cold storage. Shelf-stable filling goes into dry warehouses protected from heat and direct sunlight. Even when a product is stable, storage conditions still matter. Excessive heat can dull flavors, darken color, and change texture over time. So warehouses monitor temperature and handling just as carefully as the factory does. Distribution is the next bridge in the journey. Trucks carry the filling to distributors, bakery partners, retail warehouses, and stores. If the product is refrigerated, it must stay within a safe temperature range from the plant all the way to the point of use. This is known as maintaining the cold chain, and it is crucial for quality and safety. Even short breaks in temperature control can shorten shelf life. For shelf-stable products, the focus is on keeping packages clean, dry, and protected from crushing. Eventually, the filling arrives where it becomes something people actually eat. In a bakery, it may be loaded into a hopper and piped into soft dough at high speed. Each bun receives a precise portion, shaped so the filling stays centered. After proofing, the buns bake, and the filling warms into a creamy core. The pumpkin's sweetness becomes more aromatic as it heats, and its color looks even richer against the bread. In a home kitchen, the moment is smaller, but just as meaningful. Someone opens a pouch, scoops the filling into dough, spreads it into pastry, or stirs it into a recipe. The filling becomes part of a routine snack time after school, a weekend baking project, a treat shared with family. The industrial steps behind it disappear, and what remains is flavor and comfort. Behind that comfort is a long chain of decisions and care. The farmer harvested at the right moment. The sorting removed poor quality fruit to protect consistency. The washing and preparation kept the process clean. Cooking and refining created smoothness. Formulation balanced sweetness, texture, and stability. Packaging protected the filling so it could travel safely. Distribution delivered it without breaking quality. Each step had one purpose: to carry the pumpkin's best qualities forward and make them reliable for the person eating it. There is also a quieter story that continues alongside the main one: how producers and farms reduce waste and improve sustainability. Some facilities treat water for reuse or reduce consumption through efficiency systems. Heat recovery and energy management can lower the footprint of cooking processes. On the farm side, crop rotation and soil care protect the land so the next season can grow strong. These efforts don't always appear on the label, but they shape how responsibly the product was made. So when pumpkin filling reaches the consumer, it is more than a sweet, golden paste. It is the result of agriculture, logistics, food science, and craftsmanship woven into one ingredient. It carries the warmth of harvest season and the precision of modern processing. It travels a long road so that, in a single bite, it can feel simple. From the field where the pumpkin ripened, to the factory where it became smooth and stable, to the bakery oven or home kitchen where it becomes a treat, pumpkin filling is a journey you can taste.